Hi everybody, welcome back. This is gonna be, I think, the sixth video here where I struggle to make some sort of third-person multiplayer shooter using Unreal and C++. Um, Last time when I left, I had gotten my weapon firing all working. Show different effects when I hit a versus when it hits the ground. So I'm pretty happy with that, and I really need to work on the animation, aiming, and movement when he's holding the rifle. But that's a lot of animation work, and I really don't feel like doing animation work today. So the first thing I think I'm gonna do today is um, when I left last time, I hadn't bothered to get any of the firing of the weapon replicated, so you can see when I fire the weapon on the server, you don't see it on the client. So I do need to go ahead and work on that. So um, I think that's what I'll do first, and then if there's time to do anything else, I'll think about what else to do here. So this is my code that fires when the fire timer goes off. It does the line trace, plays the muzzle flash and the sound, and I think I'm gonna move this up here. So plays the muzzle flash, the fire sound, does the line trace. If it hits anything, it plays the impact effect. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this logic to make sure that it executes on the server. And so I'm gonna create a method. Whoa. And call it server fire, and then I'm gonna add a U function on this and call it server reliable. So in here we're gonna call server fire, not implementation, server fire. And I'm gonna move all of this. Now this may end up being a mistake, and later I may have to undo this. I'm not currently. I don't know what the delay is going to look like on an actual connection. Here, as I'm running, it happens instantly because all of my clients are on the same machine. But over a network, the delay on this may be too much, and I may have to move it so that it happens on both. But for now, just gonna do it on the server. Um, so let me compile that. I still believe when I run this, we're not gonna see anything on the client, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, now it's done compiling. Let me take a look here. And again, I expect this to not work. I don't see the impact effect or the muzzle flash. I don't know that I would hear the sound because it would be hard to distinguish between the two, but um, anyway, it's not working, and the reason why is because I'm playing these effects, spawn system at location and play sound at location. But these do not replicate. So what I need to do is tell the clients to actually play them, and that is a different type of method. So we have this server method that we guarantee executes on the server. The next type is a net multicast. And that is when the server executes something, if it executes a multicast function, what it's doing is it's executing the function on every single client. So I need a couple here because I have two separate events that happen. I have actually let's call this multicast fire. So when the weapon fires, that's one event, but I have a second event that I need to handle. Which is when impact happens. So rather than call, I have this play muzzle flash, play weapon fire sound. I'm going to put that in here. And I'm going to put the impact code in here. So I think maybe I should go ahead and create that enum that I talked about last time for the type of surface that I'm hitting. Call that impact surface. I'll just paste the one I had before. And we'll have a generic and flesh for now. And I need to rename that. Okay. So I think I want to put, I think what I'm going to do is actually, let me rename that, keep things consistent. I like to have the name plural. Okay, there we go. So now I need the same thing in my CPP file. And now I can put some logic in here. Okay, we're gonna spawn the generic system if it's a generic hit, and flush hit system if it's a flush hit. I need the F hit result as well. Okay, so now I need to call this from the server. I don't need these at all anymore. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep those because I'm going to keep those for the moment. Let's see, where's my server method? If it's an actor, oops. Okay, so now I'm telling the clients to actually execute the particle system, and up here we're gonna do the same thing. To do the fire effects. Let me compile that and see where I'm at. Okay, so now that's compiled. Let me run. And it's still not showing fire effect. Try from the client, see what happens. So from the client, it doesn't work at all. Pretty sure I'm not seeing the impact effect either. Okay. I think I still need to play these things on the server. And I think that's why it's I think I'm actually gonna change these. So this is why I kept them, because I had a hunch I was gonna need them. But I do want to change it to just play hit impact and add in my surface parameter. Okay, so that compiled. Let me see what happens now. If I see what happens if I do it on the actually the client. I didn't fix the issue there. So let's see what happens on the server. Probably the same thing. Nothing. Okay. So on the fire, I didn't check my. This is not a fix, but I just want to go ahead and add this in while I'm thinking about it. any pointer errors later. Okay, so that's fixed. So let me look here and see what I think is going on. So on fire timer, fires on the client, calls server fire. Server plays the weapon flash and muzzle sound and tells all the clients to play it. Does the line trace. Plays the hit impact. Tells all the clients to play the hit impact. It seems server multicast. Seems like it should work, but it doesn't. I think I need to play the effects on the initial client as well if it's not maybe I should do this. No, I don't. Maybe, you know what? Let's give that a try. Okay, so that compiled. Still nothing. What about on the client? Still nothing as well. I may have to set some breakpoints and actually debug this. Okay, I've actually launched the game in a debugger, and I'm going to put a line trace right on, or I'm going to put a breakpoint right on this line here. And then on the client, I'm going to pull the trigger and start stepping in. So I don't have authority, so I'm calling the server. And then I'm executing muzzle flash, the fire sound. This multicast shouldn't actually do anything because I'm still on the client. that should do nothing. It's really annoying how it steps in. Maybe I should just do some logging. Actually, I think I'm just going to set a breakpoint here as well. Try that again. Okay. Calls server fire, calls back to here. So this should be happening on the server. Everything seems like it happens the way I think it should. So let me have to do a little bit more looking. So I haven't actually changed anything. I'm still in my debugging session, and I've noticed now when I click the trigger on the client, it shows up on the server. It's actually working perfectly fine now. I haven't done anything. The client still doesn't see the server fires, but the client is replicating to the server just fine. Let me add another player. So now, if I'm on the client, replicating to the server, but not to the second client. So it's my multicast functions that aren't working. So it was only a few seconds in the video, but I have actually been gone for quite some time troubleshooting this, and it turns out that the reason my multicast events were not firing is because I mistakenly had them calling the implementation method directly, which you should not do. Instead, it should just call multicast impact and multicast fire, and I was calling the underscore implementation version of the method, and that apparently is very bad. So something else I've done here while I was gone is I previously had all the fire logic inside of the timer. Instead, I made a fire method that I call from the timer, just because I wanted to make sure the timer wasn't causing any problems. So this code that I have now works. If I launch it and on the server, if I run up to this guy, fire, you can see the muzzle flash, and if I shoot it, you can see the blood splatter. And if I do it on a client, So I'm gonna save that because that was a lot of work to figure that out. So that is now figured out. There is still one problem, which is actually what's happening right now is the trace and these multicast lines, they're getting called on the client and on the server, which I think I probably don't want. I'm actually not sure yet where I want this line trace to happen. I think probably the right thing to do is to execute it on the server. You know what? Maybe it's best to execute it on both and then do a check to see if the hit location is the same. But I'm not going to worry about that for right now. Right now, this code, we just need to know that all of this code executes on when you're on a client machine. It executes on the client, and then it calls the server, executes it on the server as well. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. Like I said, I think later maybe that will change. But for now, everything is happening the way it should. I'm seeing the muzzle flash, and I think the sounds are playing on all three machines too. Although it's really, I just hear a bunch of echoing, so it's a little bit hard to tell. So that's 30 minutes in. I think I'm going to go ahead and start on something that I probably will not finish on this video. And that is I want to create a component to hold my player's, right now, just his health, but eventually it would be more than that. So I think I'm going to call this Aspen character stats, and this is going to be a component, and I'm going to inherit from actor component. I'm going to put it in private / components, and that all looks good. I'm going to just clean this up a little bit. Don't believe I want the tick. Don't want the tick. Okay. So I'm going to create some properties in here. Actually, Okay, I'm gonna set these both to replicated. Because I'm gonna want everybody to know my health and max health, right? I'm going to create a delegate So this is actually a nasty piece of code right here that I'm going to put in first. So basically what we're doing here is setting up a delegate, and I'm going to call it on health changed signature, and it's going to happen on the Aspen character stats component. Let's see, and so we're going to say health amount, damage amount, type of damage, the controller, and the actor that caused it. So 6 parameters, so that's why we're using this 6 params multicast delegate. So now that I have that, I can create the method signature, and we're going to call it just on health changed. And what will happen is my actor that this component is on will listen for this. We'll attach a method to this delegate, and therefore be notified that that the health has changed. And then we're going to set up something here, and this is I'll make this blueprint callable, even though I'm probably not going to call it from a blueprint. I'll do it anyway. So I'm going to use the older damage system for now. I know the Lyra example project uses the gameplay ability system, but that is a lot of setup, and I don't want to do that right now. I do probably want to do it, but not just yet. That'll hopefully come soon. So let's see the amount of damage, and what else? Damage type. Call that damage type. This is not right. There we go. And I need the instigated by. The controller and the actor. Call this damage. Damage actor, I guess. No. Damage causer. definition for that. Whoops. Don't want to put a definition in here yet. I'm not sure actually. So I think yes. I want to put some stuff in here, and I'm gonna steal it because this is some. I'm gonna steal it from a previous project, as I do. So take damage. So if the damage is less than 0, or really that should be equal to, less than or equal to 0, we just return out of this method, do nothing. Otherwise, we're gonna subtract the amount of damage that's incoming from my current health, and then this is what causes that delegate to fire. So we're going to broadcast that my health changed. Now in begin play, I want to do something else, and this is, I'm going to plug in to the Unreal damage system here. And get rid of this previous project name. Okay, so what's happening here is we're saying if I'm on the server, get my owner, and this is me plugging into the Unreal damage system. So there's a delegate on the actor called on take any damage, and I'm adding an event handler for that to my take damage method that's up here. So whenever my owner takes damage in the Unreal damage system, it's going to call my take damage method, which is going to broadcast out that my health changed. And that's only going to happen on the server, because it's only on the server that's actually, that's not true. It's on the authority, which is where the character spawned at, which machine has authority. So this isn't going to happen on every machine. It's only going to happen on the machine that has authority. So so that's how that's going to be set up. Now 44 minutes in, I will go ahead and very quickly add this component to my character class. Add the full declaration. I'll just call it character stats. And then I need to initialize it in my constructor. That should be it. Let me compile that. And I had a little compile error. Got one too many equal signs there. Oh, right. Yeah, sometimes these new symbols are a little too much for me. So it actually was already less than or equal to. And then looks like, okay, looks like that's the only one. So I'll go ahead and build again. And I have another error because I forgot on my stats component I have replicated properties. As anytime you replicate properties, you have to implement the get lifetime replicated props. What did I call this? What is this supposed to be again? Let me take a look at my other class. I can never remember this. Huh. Oh. That's a U, right? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and launch the editor, and then I'm gonna do one last compile, hopefully. Okay, recompiled. I'm waiting for the editor launch. While I do that, I'm gonna come back into my stats component, into the take damage, and I am gonna add this logging that I had back in here. Okay. Editor's launched, so I'm gonna recompile that and wait just a minute. Okay, now that's done. I'm gonna put this back down to 1 and I'm gonna look at the output log. I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, I'm not getting my log. Right. The reason is because I'm not actually applying damage yet. So So there's one more thing I want to do here. So I don't have a base damage amount on my weapon yet, so I'm going to add that. Let's see, we'll call this, we'll just base damage amount. So on my weapon now, I'm getting the hit actor, and this is another part of the built-in Unreal damage system. I'm applying damage to the the actor that I hit, and I need one more thing in here, which is another U property, and I'm going to call this T, subclass of U damage type, and we'll just call that damage type. And so now in here we're applying point damage at base damage amount, which is on our base class, and the damage type, which is on our base class, and the damage causer is this weapon. Okay, so I'm going to compile that. Okay, so that's compiled. Let's run, and let me shoot this guy. Still not triggering properly. Oh, I know why. Okay, I need to in my weapon, I need to actually set those properties that I configured. So base damage amount is going to be 100, damage type, let me see if that takes care of it. Yes, now you can see when I hit this dummy character that takes damage is on fire, which is perfect. Let me actually try it just for fun. Let me try it with a client and server. Let me fires just like it should. And just for the even more the heck of it, let me have one client shoot another client. Oh, I've broken the fire. Oh man. Alright, well, when we come back, I'm going to have to fix the client firing again. Still works on the server and the clients though, so I'll just need to, when I come back in the next video, I'll fix the client weapon firing again, and maybe I'll implement having the characters die when they run out of health, and I guess I'm gonna eventually have to fix up these animations and work on the aiming. I'm not really happy with the animations that I have, so I may go grab animations from Mixamo and get those set for the next video. Anyway, any questions or comments, just leave them below, and I'll be back soon with the next video.